everyone. Today we are going to celebrate Mexican traditions, and we're going to kick off the week by making a piñata. So the first step is to get out some cardboard and cut out 2 Christmas trees. So I have 2 identical Christmas trees. You can either make a pattern or put the cardboard on top of each other and cut both out. And then we're going to need 1 inch to 2 inch strips across the side, and that's what's going to form our piñata. And before you do anything with these long strips, you might want to just gently put a hole in there, because this is how we're going to hang our piñata. But please have an adult help you because the scissors are sharp. So what I did is I'm starting out by taping the sides to the Christmas tree. And then I'm going to tape the other one. And this is just to give it a little bit of structure. What I found works nicely is to then use our hot glue gun to make it a little firmer. So I've got these crazy shapes taped together, and what we're going to do is we're simply going to fold it, and then as you can see we have a Christmas tree. So I'm going to tape, but you can see it's a little flimsy, so that's why I found the hot glue gun helped reinforce it. So maybe just put a piece of tape down there, and we'll put one up here. And you could also wrap it in masking tape if that makes it firmer. Like I said, I just found that the hot glue gun was helpful when I was doing this. So I have my hot glue gun nice and hot. I have an extra stick here. And again, ask for help with the glue gun because we know they're hot. I don't want anybody to get burned. So I'm just going to gently go down the side. And then just kind of hold that together until it hardens just a bit. And then we're going to do this to the other sides as well. I always have all those extra strings whenever I use a glue gun. So then we're going to go down the next side here. I'm just going along the seam. New glue stick needs to catch here. There we go. So again, it's very hot, so be careful. But we can just kind of push it together. And that's helping it firm up a little bit there. And it'll get firmer as it dries. And then we are going to do the other side. I'm doing those seams. Sides. All right. Push everything together and let it firm up. And then the only other piece of cardboard we're going to need is something to close the bottom, because in a piñata you put candy in there and we don't want the candy to fall out. So I have a small strip cut for the bottom. So we will do the exact same thing we've been doing. I'm going to just put a little glue in the inside. And put that right in there. And then what I'm going to do with the bottom is I'm going to go ahead and reinforce it with tape. We're going to cover this up with tissue paper, so any tape or glue you use isn't even going to show. So that is not a big deal at all. And then you'll notice I did leave a little hole in the top here because we need to be able to get the candy inside. So when it's all finished, we will stuff it with the candy. So there is my Christmas tree. You can see that the glue gun really did help it firm up. I'm going to set this, I have a little cardboard box here. I'm going to set that there to dry for a moment. And then we're going to get out green tissue paper. And the first thing we're going to do is cut a strip to cover the sides here. So it doesn't need to be a very thick strip at all. So I'll cut that. And I will make another one because we have two sides to our Christmas tree. Perfect. And we'll get our tree out. I have a bottle of glue. Again, you could use your hot glue gun if you want to, but this just might be a little bit easier for everybody. Well, I have a brand new glue. I need to take the middle out there in order to get it to work. There we go. So I am just going to put some glue right down the center. And simply take one of these strips and lay it right on there. It doesn't have to be perfect. We can always trim it. And then I'll wrap it around the bottom. I'll use a little bit of glue for that as well. Alrighty, so we've got the one side covered. Now I will put glue on this side. And we'll lay the tissue paper down. And again, you can just tack the extra at the bottom. And take your scissors and go ahead and just trim up the top a little bit. And then really we can get our tape back out and just fold this over a little bit, because like I said, we're going to end up covering up the whole cardboard box, so it's not going to matter that we have tape there. There, I just kind of taped up some of those loose ends. And then remember we made those holes, so you might want to, before you forget, get out your scissors and just kind of poke that hole, because again, that's where we're going to put the string through. That way it's easy to find. So we have the sides of our tree covered, we have our tree made. The next thing to do is to start covering it. So we are going to cut strips out of the tissue paper, similar to what we did for the sides. So you're gonna end up needing quite a few strips, but we'll just do this to show you. You can put them together to save time if you want, or you can do each one individually. And what we're gonna do is just make little cuts. You're not gonna cut it all the way through. You're making like a little fringe. And this is what is gonna cover the outside of the piñata. Just little fringe marks all the way over. So you can see, I mean, it's like a low grass skirt almost. So then we're gonna start at the bottom of the tree, put some glue down. So I have a strip of glue, and then we're gonna lay this right on there. So you could measure it ahead of time, or you can even just lay it on there and then trim it off. And even though, well, this one is going to be big enough to go the next round. So then now we need some glue. And we're going to lay another layer of fringe. So you can see that it's starting to look like a piñata. And again, you can just take your scissors, and you can wait till the end even, and just trim it. And make sure you secure, as you add the tissue paper, you'll see you'll need to secure it as you go up. So I did one, or started one ahead of time. So this is what my one side looks like, completely done. And then I've cut some fringe just to finish up. So I will lay that on there quickly. Take some of this that we did before. So you're just gluing and then laying that fringe on there. And then you can see I have some excess on there. So I'm just, again, gonna follow the shape of the Christmas tree and kind of trim it right up. So we're doing the fringe on the front and the back. If you just want to do it on one side, you could certainly do that as well. But then there is the finished piñata with all the tissue paper. And now we get to add some embellishments. So you don't have to worry if the top of your tree isn't perfect, because you can use one of the puffballs, pom-poms that was given to you, and put one at the top of the tree. So I'm going to pick a white one, I think, for me. You have all different colors. And then there's big pom-poms. I think there's mostly big pom-poms, but I have some little ones here too. So I will add a little bit of both onto my tree. So you're just gluing the pom-poms anywhere that you would like. Whoops, there goes one of my pom-poms. There. So there is my decorated tree. Again, you need to let it dry. And then you have some candy at the center. Mine's over here. I think there's some mints, there's some Three Musketeers. You're just gonna bend back that hole and you can put it right, stuff your candy right in there. And then when you're all done, what happened to my string? Oh, it fell on the ground. You're just gonna simply tie up the top. We're gonna feed that string through there, which is always a tricky task, isn't it? So we'll put the, whoops, maybe we need to wait till those balls dry before we feed that through there. I'll add that back on there. So then we can push our string through there. So can I get it on that side? Yeah. See it, I just can't grab it. There. Let's see. There we go. We'll put my white puff ball back on there. And we'll tie up the top. And then you will have a beautiful piñata. Have fun, everyone.